Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat and welcome to MSL's Trucking Partnership Forum, co-hosted by CRIF Philippines. My name is Arden Ross, Marketing Manager for CRIF DNB. Before we start the event, I would just like to acknowledge the presence of our keynote speakers as well as representatives from MSL, their affiliates, subsidiaries, and partners. We have in the room with us Ms. Doris Magsaysay Ho, President and CEO of Magsaysay Incorporated, Mr. Jesse Stefan Maxwell, President and Chief Executive Officer for MSL. We also have Mr. RJ Madamba, Chief Operating Officer Shipping of MSL. We also have Mr. Leste Villarreal, Head of Operation from Lorenzo Shipping Corporation. Mr. Alan Mina, General Manager for Onestop Logistics Solutions Incorporated. Mr. Gilbert Singson from Icebox Logistics Services. Mr. Gilbert currently serves as the General Manager, as well as Ms. Cynthia Lagonoy, Representative and Senior Business Development Officer from CRIF Philippines. Ms. Caroline Gapay, Sales Officer for Magsaysay Houlder Insurance Brokers Incorporated. Mr. Nathan De Jesus, Key Accounts Manager for Pilipinas Shell Petroleum Corporation. And finally, Mr. Donovan Yu, Chief Executive Officer for JourneyTech Incorporated. This session is now being recorded. If you are unfamiliar on how to use WebEx, I'm sure that most of our participants are more familiar with other platform. CRIF DNB chooses WebEx because we believe that it is the most secure video conferencing and events platform currently in the market. Another housekeeping rule, and this one goes out for everyone. We have captured your professional information you register in the event. This event is also being recorded. If you are unwilling to have your information shared with Magsaysay, their affiliates, subsidiaries, and the partners that we have for this event, please let us know. You can contact DNB at contact.ph@crif.com. All right, let's formally start this event. We would like to acknowledge again the presence of Mr. Jesse Stefan Maxwell to formally open the event with his opening remarks. Mr. Maxwell has over 10 years of relevant experience in shipping, logistics, and distribution. He is also currently the president of MoveEd, director of the Philippine Inter-Island Shipping Association, or PISA, and the Philippine Petroleum Sea Transport Association, and a member of the Young Presidents Organization. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in our digital stage, Mr. Jesse Maxwell from MSL. Sir Jesse?
Thank you, Arden. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us today for this call. I'd like to just make a special thanks to DNB and our Magsaysay team, the organizers, for putting together this event. I know it's been several weeks in the making, and I'm happy to see that we're finally here all together, having this gathering to discuss the very important topic of MSL trucking supplier partners. So yeah, I also want to welcome all of our valued trucking suppliers who are here today. Thank you for taking the time to be with us. I do hope in the future we could have this kind of forum in person one day, but it's quite an achievement that we're able to get so many people together here on a virtual call, and I think it will nonetheless still be very productive and hopefully insightful for both sides, especially as we explain to you all what our mission and vision is for MSL as it relates to our trucking suppliers. I also want to say thank you to DNB for being our partner in putting this event together, and also our partners JourneyTech and Shell who have sections in this webinar today later who will be talking about their area of contribution to this whole overall effort. So I just wanted to say, you know, from my view and from MSL's view, we're as you saw in the video, our business is shipping, logistics. This is a 24/7 business, and nationwide. It's a complex business, and trucking is a very integral part of our supply chain and our service that we offer our customers. So we rely on your partnership. It's extremely important to us. It is a critical part of our service, and it's very important that that together we're able to go to the market and provide a winning service for our customers. Our customers are becoming more and more demanding. There are lots of challenges, as you all know, with you know, not least of which the pandemic has posed on moving around, but just even in general, there are a lot of challenges in trucking. So it's an opportunity for us and working with you to really figure out how we can raise the bar and work together to provide a really distinguished service for the market, working together and addressing these challenges. It's very important that we align on really our objectives. Trucking is also not it's a part that is exposed to safety risks and operational challenges. So we would like to have this part of what we hope to achieve today is really aligning on ensuring how we can have excellent safety standards, how we can be operationally excellent, how we can help you guys also in the form of having cost competitiveness, especially through the Shell fuel card, operational performance. We know that we can improve with the help of JourneyTech and having better visibility on the location of trucks. So it's great that we're all here, that we have you with us. Again, we were really grateful to be working with you, but that also that you're here present with us to hear what all of our key leaders and executives and managers who are really involved day to day have to say and share about what is important for us, and also how you can help us contribute to our goal of serving our customers in the best possible way. So I hope we have a very fruitful and productive session. You know, you are the last mile of our service. We are in this together. You know, our success is your success and vice versa. So we look forward to working more and more closely with you now and into the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Maxwell. Again, that was Mr. Jesse Maxwell, the Chief Executive Officer and President of MSL. And yes, we have prepared very rich and in-depth presentation for all of the 100 that we have this afternoon. And of course, we cannot begin without acknowledging as well the presence of Mr. John Christian Kasupang, the Chief Operating Officer for the Logistics Department of MSL. So thank you very much as well, Mr. Kasupang, for joining us this afternoon. All right, we have an extensive presentation for everyone. So without further ado, we would like to begin now with a keynote address from Mr. RJ Madamba, Chief Operating Officer from MSL. Sir RJ will be speaking about the crucial role that trucking plays in the supply chain and the logistics industry. And Mr. Madamba is quite experienced within that, within the trucking as well as in the logistics industry with over 25 years of relevant experience in domestic, international container liner shipping, which includes branch management, freight forwarding, customer service, reefer sales, container yard operation, equipment maintenance and repair, vessel operation, trucking, finance, and customer relationship management. He is also currently the Vice Chairman of the Philippine Liner Shipping Association, Director of the Philippine Inter-Island Shipping Association, and Honorary Member of the Cold Chain Association of the Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, on our digital stage, Mr. RJ Madamba. Sir RJ, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you, Arden. Good afternoon to all our participants, and especially to our truckers. Now I'll discuss the crucial role that trucking plays in the supply chain and logistics industry. Trucking has been the most preferred mode of transportation in supply chain and logistics. Trucks can move products across the land efficiently. The reason why trucks are the mode of choice when transporting shipments is because they can pass through areas that other modes of transportation cannot. For example, ships can sail to limited destinations only within bodies of water, while air freight is only in between airports, and it has weight and airport limitations and also safety and security bureaucracies. So this leaves trucks as the most convenient for moving big volumes of products cost effectively because of the economies of scale. Trucking is the bridge between other types of transportation. Whether goods are transported by sea or air, ultimately, these goods are always moved by truck to and from seaports or airports, and even rail stations. So in layman's terms, tayo yung truckers ang trucking ang tumutulay between all other modes of transportation in the supply chain industry. Trucking is not just a mode of transportation. It is an extension of customer service in the supply chain industry, which contributes to customer satisfaction in terms of availability of service, reliability or on-time delivery, quality, no goods are damaged, technology or like track and trace, GPS, electronic documents, communication like timely status updates, driver helper courtesy, safety, and cost of service. So we consider truckers as MSL's extension of our services. So when you are outside in front of the customer, you are the face of MSL. You are the face of our business. Well, trucking also contributes to the economy by providing employment to drivers, helpers, dispatchers. They also play a vital part in the supply chain because they are the ones who know how to avoid road closures and anticipate rush hour traffic. They are the ones who use mobile technology to keep shippers updated on the location of shipments at any given time. They are also the ones who facilitate the documentation needed for the movement of the goods. Often, they are the ones who handle the loading and unloading of goods from the truck to the warehouses, storage facilities, and even direct to the customers. Just about every business and every sector of the economy relies on trucking. There are industries such as manufacturing, agriculture, construction, utilities, oil, and heavy industries that would otherwise collapse without the delivery of commodities necessary for them to function. When the trucks stop running, it will only be a matter of time before our country's regular functions will stop. And it would trigger a series of events that will change the way we live. Mapipilay tayong lahat pag huminto yung mga trucks. At some point, na-witness natin to during the pandemic, wherein during the start of the lockdown last year, there was a lot of confusion, and the movement of essential goods relied heavily on delivery through trucks. Right now, the challenges being faced by the trucking industry in the Philippines is excise tax on fuel or the train law. There's also the age restriction on trucks, which was temporarily put on hold. There's traffic congestion, and there's the oil price hikes because of the global hike in the price of fuel. Then there's truck ban and the different regulation, whether local or national, This being experienced in different LGUs, especially across NCR, wherein we cross through different LGUs. And then out of NCR, I'm pretty sure you all have a good experience on how you deliver via trucks in the Batangas region. Implementation of max gross vehicle weight, or GVW. And there are other things that are very challenging right now for the truckers, especially inflation or increase in the cost of parts and consumables. And right now, the most relevant, which is exposure to COVID, because we all know truck drivers, helpers, and employees of truckers cannot do work from home. Their job is really on-site talaga. The following are build, or BBB projects, which are expected to contribute to the growth in our trucking sector. There's 24,000 kilometers of roads that have been built or improved since 2017. There's a lot of construction, rehabilitation, or upgrade of almost 5,000 bridges. There's 802 billion pesos of fund to lay 1,066 kilometers of highways in Luzon, Cebu, and Davao. There's 633 billion pesos of fund for the 905-kilometer Luzon Spine Expressway network, which will more than double the length of the expressways in Luzon, which includes the 89-kilometer stretch between Tarlac, Pangasinan, La Union Expressway, or TPLEX, 67 kilometers South Luzon Expressway, or SLEX, Toll Road 4, 45 kilometers of Cavite Lagoon Expressway, or CALAX. And then there's the 80 kilometers of NLEX-SLEX Connector Road. Then we also have the 18 kilometers elevated Metro Manila Skyway Stage 3. And then there's a 50 billion peso project worth of Subic-Clark Freight Railway project. This was funded by an ODA loan from China. Though some may think that it may compete with the trucking between Subic and Clark, but actually it will complement, because it will connect the Freeport zones in the two areas and include a link to Subic Bay New Container Terminal Port. But of course, there's always a need for trucking between the rail terminals and the ports or the ultimate destination. A seamless trucking operation, as being part of the supply chain, is as important as having also seamless vessel operations, seamless warehouse operations, and seamless logistics operations. More than ensuring that our clients' KPIs or key process indicators are met and our client satisfaction is achieved, the end goal is about ensuring that food reaches everyone's table, that medicine is made accessible for everyone's consumption, that clothing and other essential goods are delivered to everyone. Needless to say, trucking shares in the collective goal of the supply chain and logistics industry in nation building and growth. Trucking is one of the most essential tools to efficiently deliver goods at the right time and place. Trucking supports the movement of resources, goods, and materials to its final users. Trucking serves as the bridge which connects the producers, the traders, and consumers. So again, I would like to thank our dear truckers and truck service providers for your service to MSL.
Thank you very much. That was Sir RJ Madamba, Chief Operating Officer for MSL. Sir RJ, thank you very much. I hope you can stay throughout the event, as we have prepared a time slot for all of our and to address some of the questions or clarifications that our audience may have regarding your presentation. And also, pinapaalala po natin lahat sa mga nandito ngayon at nagpa-participate sa ating event, if you are sending your professional information or trying to network using our chat box, we completely encourage it, but please make sure to send it to everyone. So sa WebEx po, sa chat box, there is a drop-down menu wherein you can send your messages to everyone or to the panelists if nahihiya po kayo to express or to address your question to everyone in this room. Again, we encourage everyone to network and use the capabilities of our platform to type in your questions, your clarifications in the Q&A box as well. Moving forward with the MSL expectation on their trucking partners, we would like to call on our digital stage Ms. Celeste A. Villarreal, Head of Operations for Lorenzo Shipping Corporation. Ms. Villarreal has over 20 years of relevant experience in shipping, heading the operations planning team of MSL for 12 years. Her team is responsible for vessel route planning, container management, project feasibility studies, liner resource planning system implementation, and operation planning activities of Lorenzo Shipping. In her current role, she is responsible for the nationwide vessel and port operation, container yard management, container maintenance and repair, container handling equipment management, trucking, and dispatching. She is also the company representative to the Philippine Liner Shipping Association Best Practices Committee. Ladies and gentlemen, on our digital stage, Ms. Celeste Villarreal. Ms. Celeste, thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you, Arben. Good afternoon to everyone. Good afternoon to our panelists and to our participants in today's forum. Before I begin with sharing to you the performance expectations from our partner truckers, please allow me to share a brief background about Lorenzo Shipping. Okay. So actually, Lorenzo Shipping Corporation is a company providing inter-island containerized cargo shipping service in the Philippines. We currently have 9 container vessels with about 10,500 container vans deployed nationwide in various ports. We are calling in 10 ports, 10 major ports in the Philippines. We have Manila, we have 4 in Visayas, that's Bacolod, Cebu, Dumaguete, and Iloilo, and 5 ports of call in Mindanao, namely Cagayan de Oro, Cotabato, Davao, Jensan, and Zamboanga. We provide both peer-to-peer and door-to-door service to our customers in all these ports. And for our door-to-door service, we utilize and we partner with truckers in all these ports to provide the door-to-door service to our customers. So in line with this, I will now share with you the criteria that we use to measure the performance of our truckers. And these criteria are also aligned with our performance measures with our own customers, the shippers and the consignees. So we actually have 5 criteria, and the first of which is the on-time delivery and pickup, where we measure the timeliness of the truck arrival at the pickup or delivery location. This criteria has a weight of 25%. The second criteria is the availability of the trucks. This means the trucks are available or ready when trips are assigned, or there are no cancellations of assigned trips. Similar to the first criteria, this has a weight of 25%. The third criterion is the timeliness of the return or the submission of the shipping documents or the proof of delivery documents, which are provided by our shippers and consignees during actual delivery or pickup. Again, this criteria has a weight of 20%. The fourth criterion is the number of incidents of damage to the cargo, the container, or incidents at customers' warehouses. So there should be, the goal is to have 0 incidents of damage. This criteria has a weight of 15%. And our last criteria is the compliance to the rules and regulations. This is not only for our customers' warehouses, but also in our container yards. So there should be 0 incidents of non-compliance. This last criteria has a weight of 15%. So the ratings or the equivalent points, as shown in the table below, are determined based on the points shown here. So there are hits or misses, and if there are misses, the points are deducted from the ratings of our truckers. The performance of our truckers are evaluated on a quarterly basis. So this is a sample of the performance evaluation for our truckers. The results are actually shared to our partner truckers, and we have discussions that are conducted to acknowledge outstanding performance and also discussions on how we can continuously improve the performance. So we have criteria of whether the trucker would be retained or will be on probationary period, or will have to removed from the list of accredited haulers. So that's it for my presentation. I hope that this information would be very helpful for you and help be a guide to you as our trucker partners on how we will be evaluating the performance when in providing the service to our customers. So Arden?
Thank you very much, Ms. Celeste. Again, that was Ms. Celeste Villarreal, Head of Operation for Lorenzo Shipping Corporation. And Ms. Celeste, again, we encourage you to stay with us throughout the presentation, as I'm sure our trucking partners and potential trucking partners in attendance for this event will have more questions for you or some clarifications regarding the content of your presentation.
Okay.
Our next speaker is Mr. Alan A. Mina, General Manager for Onestop Logistics Solution. Mr. Mina brings with him over 23 years of relevant experience in the logistics industry. A seasoned logistician, his expertise lies in managing multimodal transport services via air and sea, including warehousing. On our digital stage, let's all welcome Mr. Alan Mina. Sir Alan, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, Arden. Good afternoon to all our tracking partners and alliances. We are very excited to share with everyone some things we have in mind that would somehow level up the way we do business today. Okay, so part of what I'll be discussing this afternoon is actually very basic, but these are the ones that we tend to forget more often than not. It's about making sure that both our expectations are aligned and that we understand our role and commitment in the entire process. So to start off, let me talk briefly about our expectations when it comes to quality performance. Of course, in providing trucks, pickup timeliness is super critical, as it is the first step in serving and interacting with our customers where they need it and at what time they need it. So if we fail to meet or arrive at the given schedule, that immediately translates to non-compliance of our service level commitment. And for sure, you guys will agree with me that it's not going to be a good start. But we also need to remember that all our tracking partners become a representative or the face of MSL, as just like what RJ mentioned a while ago. So when we present our trucks and ourselves to our clients. So the next is information, which is equally important because we believe that successful delivery is half done if information is missing. We need to make sure that we keep our communication lines open all the time because if we don't have the correct information with us, it would be very, very difficult to make a sound decision on things relative to performing a job on site. And of course, how can I forget the on-time submission of the infamous PODs? Believe it or not, we try to find an alternative. To do away with this very popular document. But for some reason, our clients are not. It seems our clients are not ready to accept yet that the things are digitally transforming already. So that being the case, what do? We just have to simply trust and revert back to the conventional way of retrieving the documents and making sure all information are correct and transmittal is properly accounted for before submitting to us. So we all must remember that our collections and yours as well are heavily dependent on the completeness and accuracy of PODs that we will transmit. And of course, that's also one of the way for us to be able to collect also from our customers. When it comes to competitive rate matrix, I'm pretty sure most of you, if not all of you, are raising eyebrows now, since there's mention here of low tracking rates. But please let me explain. Again, please do not look at it at face value. Low doesn't necessarily mean you guys not making any profit at all. I assure you that that is not the way we want to do business with our partners, and that's not how we intend to treat our partners as well. Low means reasonable. Low means acceptable and beneficial to both parties. So about longer free time for loading and loading activities. I am pretty sure this is also one of the challenging tasks that we need to experience, but I believe this is something that, where flexibility now will come into play. So different customers have different demands, rules, and policies. So that is why we need to strictly adhere to the grid SOPs implemented by our clients. And I think we need to adjust and adapt and put controls to ensure that there's no deviation, excuse me, that could potentially cost both of us. I guess it goes without saying also that when it comes to the preventive maintenance service of our trucks, it shouldn't be, it's a non-negotiable expectations from you guys. We need to ensure that our trucks, we need to ensure the roadworthiness of our trucks, including the safety, of course, of our people behind the wheel before dispatching our trucks, and must be able to have the capability or the readiness to respond to any sort of emergencies. So let us continuously train and educate our people. Let's continue to educate our people and make sure that everybody is complying to the standards being set by ourselves, or by our company, and by our customers. We also need to, I think, adhere to the government regulations. I think this is also equally important, because sometimes government regulations tend to make our pricing more expensive if we do not comply, if we don't have the, if we don't have complete documentation in operating our trucks. More often than not, it's either we get penalized, or it's something we also pass on to our customers, and we don't want to do that. We don't want to experience that. And then, of course, I'm guessing also that all of our partners here have their own motor pools. So we encourage everyone to please, for all your industrial or mechanical waste, to please, throw away your waste properly, and make let's be an eco-friendly environment, eco-friendly companies. So lastly, the people that we employ reflects, it's actually a reflection of our company or our brand, and we need to pay more attention in selecting the right people, investing on them. As a matter of fact, these people, they're actually the one who carry the most weight in this whole process. Okay, of course, expectations are two-way, and as our partner, we also put importance on the things you value the most. Like, for instance, in terms of trip allocation, we firmly believe that performance should be rewarded, and the better you perform, the more trips you award to you, because inefficiency costs money. I'm sure everybody will agree to me on that one. Celeste was able to articulate the following criteria on how performance will be measured and how you will be graded early on. So in terms of us, in a way, complementing your business with our business, we can definitely serve as your enabler to support your company, not only on the tracking side, but in other services like air freight or sea freight, etc. We can also formulate a discounted pricing matrix that can be availed by all our partners who attended today. And it's something that maybe you can help grow your company by doing that. So it may sound as a cliche, but this is the way forward for me to grow our business together. We develop together, we evolve together, and we create opportunities together. So we are in for the long haul with you guys, and we just want to make sure that you see the same way. So as much as possible, if we can avoid transactional interaction, and let's do more collaborative engagement. You can approach us anytime and offer things you have in mind that would benefit not only us, but our customers as well. Let's keep on aligning our strategies and keep tabs on our progress. Just like any other recognition for job well done, We also plan to organize an awards night to all our trucking partners to upload those who performed well and beyond expectations. And definitely we will carefully deliberate on that to make sure that the deserving partners are well appreciated. Okay, this is just actually a bonus slide. No? It really pays to go back to the basics and remind us of the simple things that we need to do to maximize your performance as well as your profit. So, with that, I thank everyone for patiently listening. If you have any other questions that you would like to raise, I believe you can do that by going to the chat room and keying your questions there, and we'll try to respond the best way we can. So, thank you. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. That was Mr. Alan A. Mina, General Manager for Onestop Logistics Solution. Thank you very much, Sir Mina. And again, we encourage you to stay for the panel and the Q&A portion of our event. Next up is Gilbert Singson, General Manager of Icebox Logistics Services. Mr. Singson has been with MSL for 7 years, leading various trucking, container yard, and freight forwarding businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, on our digital stage, Mr. Gilbert Singson. Sir Gilbert, thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Hi, thank you, Arden, and then welcome and good afternoon to everyone. Mayong buntag to everyone, to all our fire partner truckers and would-be and future partners. No, I just want to start off by just asking, and I don't know, we probably have a poll later on, no, for the number of truckers that we're gonna be getting and suppliers that we're gonna be getting from different parts of the country. But if you don't mind, just quickly just type in if you're from Luzon, or if you're serving Luzon, Visayas, or Mindanao in the chat box. I'll continue talking, but I just want to see a raise of hands in this case, no. If we have some, Romeo Matela is from Mindanao, and I'll wait for the rest of you to reply. No, there are some that are from Luzon, and I'm also happy to see some of our current truckers that are also here and in attendance. No, okay. While you guys are filling up, a lot of you are from Mindanao and Bismin area. No, while we're filling that up, no, we just wanted to find out, no, to get a feel of who you are and who are attending today. I just wanted to introduce Icebox Logistics. We are a provider of reliable and efficient cold chain solutions in the country, no? Focused on the domestic market. And our solutions include full container load, less than container load, mobile reefer storage, or what you call yung putol, no, on site. And at the same time, RVLT or reefer van land transfer. You'll notice with the name alone, where Icebox cold chain solutions were very, very much related lang to temperature controlled movements, which also means they are perishable and high value. And there's nothing we really can do in terms of claims, no. So it's very critical for us that we get these goods out to our customers as soon as possible. Now, we do serve a lot of multinational companies, and that's the reason why we are looking for partners who can join us, no, in our central goal to elevate the cold chain industry in the Philippines, no. As a whole, MSL wants to elevate the whole logistics and supply chain industry in the Philippines, no. Specific to Icebox, we want to elevate the service of cold chain logistics in the Philippines. So part of that, we would want to, I mean, speaking from experience, I myself handled trucking and logistics group also in the past. So I know and I can speak for you, our vendors and our partners now, no, the truckers, no. Alam ko yung pinagdadaanan natin na truckers. I've been there, done that. Yung mga pasweldo natin and all the truck ban issues, weight issues and all, no. And now that I'm on the flip side of that coin, no, coming from that industry, from the trucking industry, I know and we all know that there's a lot of opportunities to elevate. There's a lot of opportunity to improve the services. So I guess I put it on myself on a personal level to make sure that we can not only increase or improve the cold chain industry as it is, but also improve the logistics industry Without you, as RJ and Jesse mentioned earlier, without you, our partner truckers, it's going to be difficult for us to move forward ahead and move forward with our goals to improve the industry. So, having said that, we do have a lot of KPIs, and we do share the KPIs that Alan and Celeste mentioned earlier. I won't go to the details. But as we get through the accreditation process, especially through CRIF DNB and our strategic purchasing unit through EGAI, once you get through their procedure and the accreditation process, then we start dealing with you on that level of setting the KPIs and making sure that we not just make sure that we deliver to our customers, but again, with the goal of improving the industry as a whole. Now, the KPIs, what we do now, we monitor the KPIs on a regular basis, and we also have quarterly evaluations with our truckers. In terms of meetings with the truckers, unfortunately, it's just very, very limited to online meetings now. We were able to squeeze in one meeting with some of our truckers in the early part of the year, but since then, we haven't had our second round. Ideally, I would want to meet with the truckers at least every quarter para at least yung evaluation natin and room for improvement. Both ways, we are open to feedback from the truckers. Yung mga complaints natin, yung mga process improvement natin, we are open to that. And at the same time, we pass on what our customers put on us, meaning whatever their KPIs to us as Icebox are, we also pass on to you, because at the end of the day, if we cannot meet the KPIs of our customers, then we don't have any business to talk about. So but I guess on our side, on our requirements, we do have truckers already for Luzon, but we are still open to explore as we are expecting a surge na naman, maybe after this COVID and all the vaccines are when all of us are inoculated, malamang there will be a surge on the products, and we want to be prepared for that. We will not look for you when it's there already. We have to be prepared and think ahead. But more importantly, also, we already have a surge in the Vismin operations, and we are very much interested to look for and improve our partners in the Visayas and Mindanao area. So if you have what it takes, you have the chassis, you have you can complete the requirements that we have sent. Please do get in touch with us through DNB and our strategic purchasing unit, so that we can deal with you. We have two models. We have a spot hire and a charter model, but right now I think this event is mostly for the spot hire model. So if later on we will need more requirements, we'll probably handpick a couple of you from the list of accredited suppliers. So with that, I highly encourage that you register and you get yourself accredited with Magsaysay. There's a lot of benefits to that. It will be discussed later on. And with that, I'd like to thank you for attending as well. And remember, you are the face of the business. As it said, it's not just Icebox. It's just not my sales team. It's not my operations team. But you guys, especially your drivers, your helpers, they're the ones who are the face of our business. So with that, I'd like to thank you all for attending and listening to our topics for today. Arden?
Thank you very much. That was Mr. Gilbert Singson of Icebox. At this point, it's been an hour since we started the event. We understand, WebEx and Zoom fatigue can be real sometimes. At this point, we will be pausing for a 5-minute break. We encourage everyone to get, coffee, get yourself a glass of water, take a personal break. Because following the 5-minute break, we have another rich presentations for you. We'll start with Ms. Cynthia Lagone from CRIF Philippines, as well as the value-added services and other benefits that you can get as an SML trucking partner, such as the presentation from Ms. Caroline Gapay of Magsaysay Houlder, Ms. De Jesus from Pilipinas Shell Petroleum Corporation, Mr. Donovan Yu from JourneyTech, and of course, we are going to allow to answer your questions as well as clarifications before we move to close by Mr. John Christian Kasupang. For a 5-minute break. In the meantime, enjoy this wonderful video from MSL.
Consumers today demand great products and services with on-time delivery. To meet customer satisfaction, businesses need reliable and trusted shipping and logistics partner that is customer focus and within your reach. We connect businesses to every corner of the country. MSL's end-to-end operations and solutions are built over 70 years of experience. A combination of dedicated people and technology-enabled services. With offices located in major ports and cities in the Philippines, MSL is within our customers' reach. We operate 9 container vessels in 10 major ports, and a fleet of trucks and chassis units operating nationwide. MSL provides businesses customized and holistic supply chain solutions for the handling of different types of cargoes. With 13 warehouse locations, MSL provides logistics warehousing, cross-dock, distribution, inventory management, and value-added services. We offer refrigerated container services, as we are committed to food safety along the supply chain. We import and distribute all natural and organic products, bringing quality products closer to consumers. It is through our service that we can help the industry thrive, secure jobs, and flourish the economy. At MSL, we continue to keep focused on helping you maintain your business continuity, delivering the right product to the right customers at the right time and place, keeping your business moving.
And we are back. Thank you very much for staying with us. We have about 80% attention and participation rate. So we would like to thank everyone for staying with us, giving us your time and attention. And again, we would like to thank the speakers during the first half of our program. Sir Jesse Maxwell, President and Chief Executive Officer of MSL. Thank you for staying in the event. For the keynote that was provided by Mr. RJ Madamba, Chief Operating Officer of MSL, and to the speakers, Ms. Celeste Villarreal, Mr. Alan Mina, and Gilbert Singson. Again, we encourage you to stay with us for the panel and Q&A portion of our event. Without further ado, we would like to talk to the 132 participants that we have for this event about the pre-qualification process of MSL, their subsidiaries, affiliates, and partners through CRIF Philippines. Philippines. To speak with us about the pre-qualification process, please welcome on our digital stage, Ms. Cynthia Lagonoy. Ms. Cynthia, thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you as well, Arden, and welcome again to all the participants. For this afternoon, let me guide you through on the process of Magsaysay Group of Companies to be an accredited vendor as trackers to their group of companies. And that is through the vendor pre-qualification in our VIA program. So there are a few reminders for you to understand in order to be a pre-qualified vendor for Magsaysay. First, we will set up the account of your company in our VIA portal. Next, there will be a minimal fee to be paid by the vendor. This is part of the report evaluation to be prepared for each tracker or each vendor. Then, the list of requirements will be requested to be uploaded in the VIA portal. And you can now monitor the status of your application. These pieces of information of your company has been endorsed to us by Magsaysay Group of Companies. Now, vendors are classified into two. For companies with capitalization of less than 15 million pesos, that is categorized under micro and small, the report evaluation template fee is 1,500 pesos VAT-X. While for companies with capitalization of above 15 million pesos, you are now categorized under medium and large companies, and the report template for evaluation is at 5,000 pesos VAT-X. Now, to proceed with your payment, in your screen, you can see our bank account. You can either pay through online or offline process. And please ensure to send your payment slip in our official email address, which is via cascare.ph@crif.com. Please give us 2 business days for us to validate the payment. An email notification through our VIA system will be sent to the registered user in VIA portal that your status has changed to paid, and that's your cue that you can already upload your documents in the VIA portal. In uploading your documents, please do remember the following. First, your file size should not exceed more than 50 MB. That is per document. Kindly use the correct and right file name. For example, Business Permit 2021. Next, kindly save the document in PDF format, and you will be given 10 business days to submit and upload your documents from the time that we have validated your payment. Okay. Now, after you have uploaded your documents, you can now monitor your status of application inside the VIA portal. Our objective is to have the report delivered. That means that the report has been submitted to Magsaysay Group of Companies for their review and evaluation. Now, let's move on the list of requirements. This is categorized based on the type of ownership of your company. Let's start with the sole proprietorship. These are the required documents. First, we have the supplier registration form that you need to fill up. That is in the VIA portal. Next, DTI certificate, BIR certificate or BIR form 2303, your latest business permit, 1 owner's identification, any government-issued ID will do. Photocopy of official receipt and sales or service invoice, copy of existing inland marine insurance policy, certificate of registration of truck and fleet, including the OR and CR, LTFRB franchise registration, and the signed documents such as Magsaysay Conflict of Interest, Magsaysay Integrity Pact, and Letter of Consent. These forms will be shared to you and available in the VIA portal. Now, as a sole proprietor, there will be some supplemental documents. If available and applicable, you can also submit in VIA portal. These are photocopy or certification or licenses from certifying agency like ISO, photocopy of certificate of exclusive distributorship, appointment letter as an exclusive agent or authorized distributor, and 1 utility bill. Now, let's move with the partnership. The difference from partnership or from sole proprietorship to partnership are as follows. For the required, instead of your DTI certificate, you will submit the number 2 SEC certificate and articles of partnership. Now, as we move to the supplemental, the difference is you are requested to provide latest 2 years copy of your comparative audited financial statement, which is duly received by BIR and SEC office. Now let's move to corporation. The difference from the two first type of ownership is number 2, SEC certificate, latest general information sheet, your articles of incorporation, and bylaws. Now, for the from the first two type of ownership, the supplemental or the financial statement is supplemental. Can we go back, please? However, for corporation, you are required to submit your financial statement with 2 years comparative audited FS that is duly received by BIR and SEC. Now, for supplemental, that goes same with other type of ownership. Now, let me walk you through on the VIA portal. Here, I will share some of the screenshots so you have a reference on how to navigate. In your screen, you can see the homepage of our Vendor Integrity Access portal. You will be given your username and a link for you to activate your password. You can log in your username, password, and click on Sign In. The vendor registration form or the online registration form is found in the VIA portal. So this is how it looks like when you already logged in to your account. On the company information, you can see your online registration form. Please fill up the 3 tabs: company details, registration details, and the projects. Then you can move to the next tab, which is the documents. There are 2 parts of document submission. First, the common documents, and the second is the module documents. The third tab is for your subscription monitoring. You can identify whether your application status has been changed to paid, document submitted, report ongoing, and report delivered. You can also see some of the modules or list of buyers where you have pre-qualified for. The fourth tab is the business information report. You can see the uploaded copy of your official receipt and copy of the report. And as we help our Philippine business to grow, you may want to click on the upgrade now so you can see list of VIA buyers, our clients, who are willing to accept new vendors that you may wanted also to join for pre-qualification. Now, in CRIF DNB, we help companies to promote your business through the digital online space by providing you our DANS registered seal through the following membership. If you want to know more how to upgrade your membership in VIA, kindly contact me on my contact information to be flashed on your screen. Again, my name is Cynthia Lagonoy. You can contact me on these numbers and email address, as well as our VIA Cascare team. Thank you very much, and back to you, Arden.
Thank you very much, Ms. Cynthia. That was a very comprehensive presentation of VIA. I hope that all our 130 plus participants that are joining us have been able to capture the information. Again, if you need to reach out to CRIF, Ms. Cynthia directly, her information as well as our contact information are flashed onto your screen. Ms. Cynthia, do stay with us in case there are further questions or clarifications regarding the content of your presentation during the panel and Q&A portion of our event. Next is Ms. Karen Gapay. She is the sales officer for Magsaysay Houlder Insurance Brokers Incorporated. Ms. Gapay has been with the industry and has relevant experience of over 16 years in non-life insurance claims at Magsaysay. Ms. Caroline, thank you very much for joining us in this event.
Thank you, Sir Arden. Good afternoon, everyone. I'll be sharing to you the annual inland program. This annual inland program, which customized exclusively for our MSL group. The topic to be discussed is the coverage, covered clients, interest insured, the geographical limit, deductibles, covered perils, the limit, the conveyance and premiums, which is the limit of liability per conveyance, annual aggregate, declaration of trucks, premium schedule. The covered clients here are the MSL accredited truckers, Lorenzo Shipping accredited truckers, Onestop Logistics accredited truckers, Icebox accredited truckers. This is exclusively for the MSL transactions. The interested insured, any lawful goods usual to a covered client's business, excluding the goods like mobile phones, cell cards, light plans, antiques, integrated circuits, balikbayan boxes, personal effects, cash, jewelry, livestock, works of art, bullion of ancient, precious stones, manuscript, plans, drawings, or designs, patterns, models, or molds, securities, obligations, documents of any kind, stamps, checks, books of accounts, or other business books, explosives, automobile, project cargo, and items or products prohibited by law. The geographical limit within the Philippines only. Then we do have this kind of deductibles, 1% of truckload value for each and every loss in respect of truck related losses, minimum of 10,000 pesos. There's also a 2% losses due to loading and unloading. That's a minimum of 20,000 pesos. There's also at 80 and 20% co-insurance for robbery and hijacking losses. The covered perils here for our marine inland program are the traffic flows. This is fire, explosions, the earthquake, flood, the accidental collision of the vehicle with any other automobile, vehicle, or objects excluding, however, contact with any portion of the roadbed, curving any stationary object while backing for loading and unloading, or rails or tires of street, and excluding collision of the load with any object when such collision of the load does not involve collision of the carrying truck. Of course, overturning, it's also cover or upset of the motor truck, and also the collapse or subsidence of bridges. Robbery and hijacking clause, extended to cover loss or damage of the subject matter insured during loading onto and unloading from the conveyance. This is the limits, conveyance, and premiums. The limits of liability of limit per any one truck, we do have the 2 million. The annual aggregate limit for bottle and beverages is 2 million. Our total annual aggregate limit is 30 million. Conveyance and premiums should be truckers have the LTO registered trucks, own list, hired by the assured, are the subject to submission of the lease of trucks, subject to additional of 2,000 plus taxes for every additional trucks in excess of declared number of trucks, no prorated computation, no return premium in case of deletion of units, premium charges, annual premium plus documentary. So we do have the stamp tax, which is 12.5%, the VAT is the 12%, and the LGT is 0.20 for the account of the assured. Warranted, relebo, and or replace of trucks are to be declared in 24 hours from the commencement of deliveries. Notification can be sent simultaneously to Magsaysay Houlder, and our business partner for the insurance is the AXA. Any loss, damage, or cargo incurred by a non-enrolled, unconfirmed conveyance shall not be covered. This will be, the tracker should be declared for the replacement of the trucks in case the trucks is not usable or there's something mechanical problem. This is the sample computation. So if we do have a 100 trucks units, and then as what I mentioned a while ago, we do have the annual aggregate of 30 million. So the computation, if there's a 30 million times the 1.50%, that's our rate, The annual will be the 450,000, and it will be divided if there's a 100 already trucks conveyance. That will be a premium of 4,500 per truck. Okay, and then if there will be an additional trucks aside from the 100, there will be an additional 2,000 pesos premium plus for the excess of the 100 trucks. This is also the sample computation if there's an additional trucks aside from the 100. Okay, almost the same on the following slide because we computed for the 100, the 500. So if you could see, if we do have a 500 trucks already, our premium it's only 2,550. The other one, there's a 4,500 for each truck because of the number of trucks is only 100. This is for the 500 trucks. So also the same. If the trucks will be excess for a 500 units, there will be additional 2,000 pesos also. So this is also for the computation of the 1,000 unit trucks. So the premium will be only 2,000 pesos. And then if there's also an excess of 1,000 units of trucks, there will be also a 2,000 pesos additional fee. And then for our minimum, the maximum number of trucks is 1,500. Our premium rate will be only 8%. And the premium for if there will be a 1,500 trucks already, our premium only will be 1,600 pesos. And the standard for additional trucks is only 2,000 pesos. So the more trucks we do have the accreditation under the MSL group, is the lower premium that we have. The above charging truck is for illustration purposes only. Our rating and premium charging are not based on the number of declared trucks alone, but the totality of exposure, such as perils covered, geographical limits, limits of liabilities, types of the cargoes insured, assured profile, loss experience for the 5 years, frequency of deliveries, annual gross receipts and sales, and others. We do have another new product. We'd like also to share with you our new product, the unlimited teleconsultation and unlimited access to specialist doctors with microinsurance for as low as 500 pesos only. You can join also our Magsaysay insurance community to check and avail of our other products such as life insurance, medical insurance with a land-based and sea-based, motor car insurance, property insurance, and micro-insurance. That will be the last part of my presentation. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much for showing us the benefits of availing an insurance with MSL through Magsaysay Houlder, Ms. Caroline Gapay. Moving forward, again, a lot of benefits and value added to tell us about MSL Fleet Services, Pilipinas Shell, through Pilipinas Shell, MSL's partner for the fleet card services. We would like to welcome on our digital stage, Mr. Nate De Jesus, Key Accounts Manager for Pilipinas Shell. Sir Nathan, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Arden. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. All right. So before anything else, I would like to thank the Magsaysay Group for giving us the opportunity to present to you this afternoon. So allow me to give you a brief introduction of who we are. So Shell Fleet Solutions is actually the longest running fleet card business in the world with over 50 years of fuel card expertise. We handle globally, we handle about 3 billion card transactions per year. And we currently have 5 million cards in circulation and distribute about 11 million invoices monthly. We also operate in 28 countries globally. So what this means for our customers is that whatever technology that's being used in other parts of Asia, in Europe, or in North America, it's the same technology that's used here. So the 4 key benefits that we offer to our customers are convenience, control, security, and savings. And I'll be going through each one in my succeeding slides. Okay, so the first one is convenience. So obviously, with a fleet card, all your transactions will be cashless. So this means that you won't have to give your drivers cash when they need to purchase fuel. Aside from being a more convenient way of making your fuel purchases, it's also more secure because your drivers won't have to handle cash anymore. The next one is that all your transactions will be online. So this means that when the fleet card is swiped at the station, all the transaction details go straight into the system and into Shell Fleet Hub, which is an online portal that you will have access to. And I will discuss more on this later. But in case that the terminal at the station is offline or isn't working, we do have a business continuity procedure via offline or manual transactions that will ensure that you will still be served at the station. Next is we also have a dedicated customer service team. So what sets Shell apart with our customer service is that our customer service is not outsourced to a third-party company. So our customer service team are also Shell employees. They're trained by Shell. They only serve Shell Fleet Card customers in the Philippines. So in terms of ease of communication, or coordination or product expertise, they're the best. And another feature of Fleet Card that you will have access to are transaction reports that can be downloaded in Excel format. So this means that you won't have to manually record your fuel transactions if you're currently on a cash-based payment system for your fuel. All right, so these are the type of fleet cards that you can choose from when you have an account with us. So depending on what your requirements are as a business, you have these types of cards to choose from. So the first one, which is the leftmost top card, is the driver specific card. So a driver specific card is a card where the driver's name is embossed on the card. So with this type of card, the authorized driver needs to be at the station before they allow a transaction to happen. So the pump attendants will ask you for a valid ID, and they'll check if your name matches the name that's embossed on the card. So usually, this card is used by card holders who uses multiple vehicles. So regardless of the vehicle that they brought to the station, as long as they are at the station, they will be allowed to use the card. And then let's move on to the card below it, the vehicle specific card. So a vehicle specific card is a card where the plate number of the card is embossed on the card. So this means that the authorized vehicle needs to be at the station, and our pump attendants will check if the plate number of that vehicle matches what's embossed on the card before they allow the transaction to happen. Usually, our customers who are in the trucking business, this is the card that they prefer. Kasi syempre, they want to make sure that the vehicle that their drivers are gassing up are the trucks of the company. And they don't give driver specific cards to their truck drivers because that would then allow them to refuel vehicles that may not be part of your company's fleet. And then the third type, which is the middle top card, is a driver vehicle specific card. So this card is more restrictive because both the driver's name and the plate number will be embossed on the card. And both need to be at the station before the station will allow the transaction to happen. So both the authorized driver and the authorized vehicle need to be at the station. So the companies that use this are usually the companies that have a sales team that they issue vehicles to. So, for example, pharmaceutical companies for their med reps. So, these companies want to make sure that the person who's using the card is their employee, and that the vehicle that they're gassing up is the vehicle that the company issued to them. And then the next type of card is what we call an admin card. So an admin card does not contain a driver's name or a plate number. So essentially, anyone can use it. Although it's not restrictive, it's also more risky because if this card gets lost or gets misplaced, essentially anyone can use this card. So usually companies would only request for this type of card if they need it for contingency purposes. So for example, if a card holder loses their card and they need to urgently refuel their vehicle, the admin team would usually let them use the admin card first while they're waiting for the replacement card to arrive. And then the next one is what we call a drum card. So a drum card is used if you need to purchase fuel in bulk. So essentially, this is the card that's used when you go to our stations, you bring drums either for your gen sets or for whatever purpose, and then our station will fill up the drums and they will settle the transaction with a drum card. And then the last one is a lubricants fleet card. This card is used to purchase lubricants or our oil change services at the station. Okay, so there are several restrictions that you can apply to your card to make it more secure. So first is what we call the velocity limit. So the velocity limit is basically the monthly or annual limit that you will apply to your cards. So it can either be in pesos or in liters, depending on what your preference is. You can choose between a monthly limit, an annual limit, or a lifetime limit. And there's also an option of doing daily and weekly limits for your cards. You can also choose which product sets your card can purchase. So you can choose if they can purchase diesel, gasoline, or lubricants. And you can go as far as customizing, for example, what type of diesel or what type of gasoline that they can purchase. Because in Shell, we have two types of diesel, for example. We have our fuel save diesel, which is our regular diesel, and our premium brand, which is V-Power diesel. So you can customize which products your card holders will be able to purchase. The next restriction that you can make use of is what we call the day and time limit. So the day and time limit is if you want to limit the day and time when your cards can be used. For example, if you want to restrict usage of your cards during the weekends or from 12 a.m. to 4 a.m., you can do that. So if any of your card holders try to use their cards during that time, their cards will be rejected at the station. And you will be informed that the card holders tried to use their card during a restricted time. And then the next one is what we call site restrictions. So site restrictions is basically you being able to decide where your cards can be used. So for example, you can restrict usage of your cards at the station that's nearest your garage or your company address. So that means that your card holders can only use their cards at that station. And if they try to use it in other stations, their cards will be rejected. And then the last one is what we call fleet ID validation. So fleet IDs were made for vehicle specific cards. So if you will remember the previous slide, a vehicle specific card will not tell you who used that card during a transaction because it's assigned to a vehicle, and what you'll see in the report is really just the plate number of that card. But if you want to be able to identify which of your drivers used that vehicle specific card at that transaction, you can assign each of your drivers a unique fleet ID. So it's a 6-digit fleet ID. And if this is enabled, if this is enabled in your vehicle specific cards, when they swipe the card at the station, our terminals will prompt for a fleet ID, which means that the card holder will need to input their unique 6-digit fleet ID. And when those transaction details are transferred to our system, it will show what fleet ID was used during that particular transaction. And in turn, you will be able to identify which of your drivers used that vehicle specific card. All right. So in terms of our Shell stations nationwide, out of the 1,000 stations that we have, almost 900 of those accept fleet cards. So 90% of our stations nationwide accept fleet cards. So more often than not, the stations that you will encounter will accept fleet cards. And what you can expect at our stations is the select convenience stores, our Deli to Go, which is our brand of cafes. Um, some stations also have Shell Helix Oil Change Plus centers where you can where you can have oil change services. And also you can expect clean restrooms. So I think I think some of our restrooms went viral na nga because of how beautiful they're set up. And I know that a lot of our restrooms are also air conditioned. So that's what you can expect at our stations. Okay, so in terms of control, we give our customers access to Shell Fleet Hub. So Shell Fleet Hub is an online portal that you can log into to view your transactions real time. So in Shell Fleet Hub, you will be able to track all the transactions of your fleet card or of your card holders and view it in real time. So this real time feature is very useful, especially for our customers who are in the trucking business, because some of them want to monitor their fuel usage on a daily basis. Because, well, as you would know, fuel is one of your biggest expenses in the company, so they want to make sure that it's being used appropriately. So what some of our customers do is, for example, if their admin team says to their driver, "Oh, ito yung fleet card mo, you're allowed to purchase 40 liters today." And then what the admin team can do is wait for that transaction to appear in Shell Fleet Hub and check if the driver really just loaded up the 40 liters or the amount that he was authorized to buy for that day. You can also download bulk data reports, and I'll show more of this later in the succeeding slides. But before that, I'd also like to explain to you what a Shell Motorist app is. So the Shell Motorist app, it's not part of Shell Fleet Hub, but it's a downloadable app that you can download to your iPhone or to your Android, and it works a lot like Waze, in that it basically identifies the nearest station in your area and directs you to it. So it's like Waze, but for Shell stations, and it's going to show which services are available at that station, if they have Shell Helix oil change services, if they are a fleet card accepting sites, if they have Deli to Go, if they have Select. So it's going to show everything there, and it's going to direct you to that to the nearest station in your area. Okay, so this is one of the reports that you can view in Shell Fleet Hub. So this is the recent transactions report. It's basically going to show all the recent transactions of a particular card. And this is where all the real-time transactions will appear. So that's where your admin team can check if your drivers are only purchasing the fuel that they're supposed to purchase. And also, you can also download transaction reports that are in Excel. So the transaction reports are highly customizable. So the first layer of customization is choosing which period you need, and also what transaction details you'll need. So customization of your reports is very simple. You just need to tick which details you'll need for that report, choose which period you need the report for, and then just click download, and you will get an Excel report of all of your transactions with the information that you are requesting for. So it's very easy. So you won't need to, like I said earlier, if you're currently on a cash-based payment system, I'm sure you're doing all your recording manually every time your drivers purchase gas. So that eliminates that process and frees up the time of your admin team, so they can spend it on more value-adding tasks for the company. Okay, so in terms of security, of course, aside from not having to handle cash anymore, or not having to give your drivers cash to purchase fuel, which is more convenient and more secure, um, Shell using fleet cards will also help you detect any irregular or unauthorized purchases by your drivers. And early detection means that you can immediately act on those by, for example, blocking their cards or calling the attention of the card holder that's currently using the card. So it's gonna help you reduce unauthorized transactions and make sure that all the transactions are that your drivers are making are legitimate and are authorized, and that translates into savings. Okay, so as a Shell card holder, you are entitled to these perks. Basically, you just need to show that that you have a Shell card, and you'll get 10% off on lubricant transactions, 10% off on Motolite Express Hatid, and other perks that you can avail of if you're a Shell card holder. And actually, that's the gist of my presentation. And if you're interested to open an account with us, please get in touch with your contact in Magsaysay so we can assist you with your account creation. Thank you everyone for listening.
And thank you very much. That was Mr. Nathan De Jesus from Pilipinas Shell Petroleum Corporation, presenting and showing us the value of availing Fleet Card through your partnership with MSL. Okay, we would like to now on our digital stage, Mr. Donovan Yu, Chief Executive Officer of JourneyTech Incorporated. Ms. Jonathan has very for us regarding the technologies that you can get from MSL through their partnership with JourneyTech. Of course, Mr. Yu has over 25 years of relevant experience in the industry and 12 years in information technology. He is also a member of the Management Association of the Philippines and Center for Community Transformation Ministries. On our digital stage, Mr. Donovan Yu.
So yeah, thank you for inviting us to this forum. It gives us it's a privilege that we're considered as an integral part of your logistics process. So just to go straight to my presentation, just a brief background first of our company. The JourneyTech was born out of a need, primarily because at the time I was with an insurance company based in Singapore. We were trying to solve haulers issue in terms of insurance, the inadequacy of insurance coverage, and the risk of find the GPS provided we need to support the new product initiatives. And to cut the story short, I ended up starting my own IT company, and that's how we formed JourneyTech. So our first product, which is a GPS product, so we were the first company that offered GPS with 24/7 monitoring. This was in consideration of the pain points of the haulers, that they were really monitoring it 24/7. There were GPS that were inactive and so on. So we provided a 24/7 monitoring service that also provide roadside assistance to truckers. With that, we were able, just some highlights, we were able to launch the very first insurance product in the market that provides inside job coverage to haulers, because they have our GPS installed and their dispatching was outsourced to us. We were able also to launch the first private vehicle insurance product with our partners that includes GPS, so that they can do what we call pay how you drive, meaning they get discounts based on their driver scoring. So these are the things that JourneyTech has been doing so far. And what differentiates us from the other GPS providers in the market is that we practically have our own product development. Nowadays, GPS is pretty much generic. When I say generic, it's pretty much just a tracking device. What what differentiates us from the rest is our own development to customize the application of our product that suits the need of our client. Because as like I said, GPS nowadays are pretty much generic. So with that, it's one of the reasons why we were able to bid for the MSL requirement. I think that was 2 years ago. And later on, I'll show you statistics behind that and the story behind the MSL project. So some of the key clients that we have, apart from MSL, of course, we're accredited with Nestle, with Skyfreight, Transport Brokerage. Lindy Gas is a regional client of ours and a local client as well. Chevron Truckers and the major bus operators in the Philippines. Regionally as well, from Malaysia, we service Shell, Petron, and Shopee is actually a local client. So sorry about this. They're not a regional client. They're our local client. We provide the GPS for all their haulers as well. Okay. So moving forward, so just some to show you our products. JourneyTech is primarily focused on the transport and logistics industry. So if you look at this list of products, pretty much on the transport side, we are aligned with a modernization program by DOTR, which is requiring buses, land-based operators to have CCTVs, automated ticketing, cashless transaction, which is our Triple card, and of course provide free Wi-Fi on board. On the other hand, on the logistics side, you'll notice here that we now have very specific GPS products depending on the industry that the trucker is involved in. So whether they're in the construction industry, logistics, reefer van, they need a real-time mobile DVR with GPS, we have it. Okay, so all the GPS that we're developing has been customized in terms of the application and also the device, depending on the need. So how do we develop our product? Always at the core of our development are three challenges that we always focus on. These three items, which are operational inefficiency, fraud, and security, is always at the core. Our product should be able to answer these three items before we can even consider offering it to the market. A lot of the things that we take into consideration to ensure that the product would be meeting a need would be covering these three items. So that is why insurance is actually a part of our offering for those who wants it, because we feel that risk management is not just about the technology, but part of it is insurance. And it's good to note about the presentation earlier by Magsaysay insurance brokers, because I think there'd be a lot of could be some synergy that we could do later on to not just to lower down the premium cost, but to make the portfolio of their truckers insurance profitable, so that they could continue bringing down the cost further. And of course, by doing that, it would also benefit Magsaysay Logistics and the truckers as well, by lowering down the cost and to make it more profitable for everyone. Obviously, on the core of everything is to help the truckers and of course our clients to be more profitable. And these factors are something that can be controlled using technology and using risk management. Right. So going to the MSL project, 2 years ago, we were invited to make a bid. So if we work on the need, we try to find out what's the need of MSL. And based on the challenges that were presented to us, like I said, we are one of our key advantages that we have our own development team, that we develop our own applications customized to our clients. And with that, we presented to the MSL team our solution. And I believe we were given 4 to 6 months to deliver this, and which we were able to develop deploy. With that, currently it's being used, and not only being used, I believe, of course, with some feedback from the MSL team about the milestones that we have achieved because of this centralized dispatching system with the GPS that we provided has made seamless communication among the haulers and MSL, has increased productivity, has done better measurements of KPI, and of course, improved safety. So this, of course, not to mention that the faster turnaround time in terms of monitoring and response from the haulers in terms of assignments made by the MSL trucker. So we've been very happy with this, but obviously this is not the end of this project. There's more to it that we continue on working with MSL and find out how else this product will evolve to, like I said, to increase efficiency and productivity for all parties. So what's next for JourneyTech? We're continuously want to become a leader in the IT field for transport and logistics. For the logistics side, there's a pipeline of products that we are preparing to be launching soon. First of it is a product which is the first GPS product that has a padlock, or on the other hand, it's a padlock with a GPS. Now, the uniqueness of this product is that there is no keys needed to open it. The only way to open this padlock is via Bluetooth from the phone, which is authorized, or it's done remotely via 3G or 4G. So this has a lot of applications, from remote warehouses, from locks, from warehouses in remote areas, in trucks, in stores, activation, and all that. So there's a lot of applications, and we're nearing the end of our R&D, and we're looking at around the end of third quarter, we will be launching this product already. The next one is a container tracker. The difference with this container tracker is that it has a humidity and light sensor. Now, what it does, it's installed inside the container. And what it does, if there's a change in humidity, especially for reefer vans, this the other product we're launching soon as well, is a container tracker. Now, unlike other container trackers that you install outside the container, which is forming as a lock, this container tracker has a humidity and light sensor. It's actually installed inside the container. And what it does, it's able to measure changes. So if it's a reefer container, or not even, and there's changes in the light and so on, it's triggered, and the data is sent to the command center, so that even before a container is accepted or taken delivery, if there is any misuse or any alerts because of the change in humidity or light, then the consignee or the trucker could already send the container at the spot to check whether there are missing items. We're very familiar about shipments that have been received wherein half of the cargo is missing and they're not sure how it happened, with the seals intact and so on. So this actually will help very much in terms of claims processing, insurance claims processing, and even identifying fraud. So this is the other product we're launching soon. And then of course we have our body cam. This is for the employees to be worn to make sure that all the things that are happening out there in the field has been recorded. And there are two versions of this. One is an offline, and the other one is a real-time one, which is similar to what police enforcements are wearing. You could track in real time and also view in real time the camera that is worn by your employees. Last but not the least is what we call a DMS, or it's what our version of artificial intelligence. We actually have deployed this already to Caltex or Chevron haulers and Lindy Gas. This is in partnership with our mobile DVR. What it does is that it promotes driver management and monitoring is misbehavior. by alerting the driver if they're using their phone, smoking, or even sleepy. If they're sleepy. What will happen is our DMS will voice an alert or even a voice command to tell them to keep their eyes on the road or put down their phone. And if those things doesn't happen, it will send an alert to the command center. All of these are geared towards promoting safety and security for the trucking industry. This has been deployed already, and it's actually available. And we'll be happy to present this to Magsaysay Logistics if they're interested to deploy this to their haulers. So on the application side, what we're working on right now are three things. Pretty much it's about automated route planning. Again, all of this are using algorithms to help truckers decide, especially for multiple stops, to decide which orders should be done first based on traffic conditions. As we are a Google Map partner, traffic situations, we get those traffic situations. So we're now working on algorithms or applications that will help our truckers to decide better in terms of delivery efficiency. Part of that as well is load capacity based on the size of the truck and part of the size of the cargo or the boxes that need to be put in. We're working on an application that will be able to determine which trucks or type of trucks would and based on the route that will be or location to be delivered would be the most efficient. So all these are done via the algorithm that we will be creating. Last but not the least is what we call the last mile of customer experience, wherein we will be, instead of using manual paper delivery receipts, all of this will be through electronic point of delivery systems and e-signing. So it's not far because currently we're already doing this for the transport industry where buses and modern jeepneys are replacing their manual base of ticketing using a mobile device with our application running on it. So all their transactions for their trips, whether it's their ticket, inspection, expenses, are all put in already to a one mobile device and sent in real time to create a faster means of analyzing their trip and driving behavior. So with that, of course, is ultimate goal is to help our truckers as well be able not just to operate efficiently, but also to monitor the expenses of each and every delivery truck. That hopefully would be a complete fleet management system for our truckers. So with that, again, I thank you for inviting us to this forum, and we look forward to be of service again, to be of service to MSL and to its truckers. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That was Mr. Donovan Yu from JourneyTech telling us about some of the technologies that are currently available to all of our participants this afternoon on how to make your operations and trucking delivery services more efficient. At this point, we are going to move forward with our Q&A portion. We encourage everyone in the room, if you have any questions or clarifications for any of our panelists, please type it in the Q&A box. And while we're waiting for your questions to come in, I would like to encourage all our speakers to open their video and open their microphone, perhaps, so that you can easily answer the questions of our participants this afternoon. Emil will stop sharing his screen for the time being so that we can put you on spotlight and you can answer the questions that have been raised. Okay, so we're still waiting for questions from our participants and attendees. Just a quick question for, I'm assuming this is for Sir Donovan. Will the GPS determine if there is a sudden reduction of diesel in the truck tank?
Thank you for that question, Arden. It's actually not a new technology. The technology is already available. There are two types or ways to assess a sudden drop of fuel. It's either through an electronic means of the what do you call this, the fuel sensor, or if the trucker really wants to assess directly on the tank, we actually do install a fuel lever. We replace the fuel lever that is currently installed on the truck, and that would be a more accurate means of assessing it. Now, those two scenarios are just to assess the level of fuel in the truck. Now, again, it doesn't tell you whether there's a sudden drop or a sudden drop of fuel. Now, that's the application that I was referring to earlier, that we will be able to create an application to alert the trucker that there's a sudden drop, which is more than what is usual or what is common. So, for example, if your consumption is 2 to 3 kilometers per liter, and suddenly, then you want an alert if it's more, let's say 40% more than that, then that's what will be given to the trucker as an alert, and then they could start investigating on it. So
right,
hopefully I was able to answer that.
Thank you. Very comprehensive, Sir Donovan. We also ask you during your registration to send us your questions in advance, and while we're questions to come in, we want to be able to go through some of the relevant questions that you have for us. This first question is for either Sir RJ or Miss Celeste. Of course, our participants now would like to know how can they start applying as your potential trucking partner, and what are some of the activities and initiatives that you have with MSL to help them get better clients.
For our trucking partners who are interested to for our truckers who are interested to be our partners, they will have to undergo the accreditation from DNB, which was explained earlier by Cynthia. So you can I think in the chat box Cynthia already sent the portal link, so you can go through that portal and then undergo the accreditation. So when you're already accredited, we can start using the services of the trucking company. For what was again the second question, Arden?
The second question is, how can you help them get better clients? The question is coming from Blue Ram Freight Incorporated.
Okay. Getting better clients. Well, it's Lorenzo Shipping and MSL, and I guess Icebox and Onestop also have different types of customers. We have access to multinational companies where they have volume of cargoes and shipments. So there are bigger chances for the truckers to get more revenues, more income because of the volume that these multinational companies have. So most of the multinational companies, they avail of our service on door service mode. So we really need our partner truckers to be able to support their requirements.
Right.
Thank you very much. To add to that, in order to ensure that the truckers get better clients, the mere fact that you're already accredited, once you get accredited with MSL, we employ what we call as KYC, or knowing your customer. So we also employ the proper vetting of our customers to ensure that we only serve those customers who are aligned with our values and with our processes and procedures. So that ensures that you will never get clients through us that are what they call fly by night, or those who are not so good in paying, such as one-time customers only. As Celeste mentioned, we get as much as possible institutional clients, those multinational and those big corporations here in the Philippines. Again, they're the ones who are aligned with our values and with our sustainability statements. So once you are accredited with MSL, with Lorenzo Shipping, with Onestop Logistics, with Icebox Logistics, you are assured that we have already vetted our clients, and those are the clients that are worthwhile to serve.
Right. Thank you very much, Sir RJ. And this is a question for Sir Gilbert. Question was sent: what are the responsibilities of truckers for concealed damage during delivery for international practice?
Yeah, well, in terms of our movements, we're talking about domestic movements anyway, no? But the question is, we can't answer that off the bat, no? One is there are several case-to-case basis setups with each customer. Some would deal with seal intact, container seal intact. Some customers would say, box count or case count or pallet count. No, but yeah, I think it would be a case-to-case basis. I think I can speak also for the rest of us in the group, for Onestop Logistics and Lorenzo, where each customer will have their own specific claims procedures. No, what we can make sure of is when we deal with you and your trucker in Pahinante, no, we will also make sure that we discuss this to you in detail. That way, if we are getting your services for the haulage, no, obviously it will have to be in the case of seal intact tayo. For obvious reasons, if the seal is broken, then there is an issue where we have to deal with the truckers and have a proper investigation. No? If we take your mano services, then we will also make sure that we have a checker involved in-house on our side to just ensure that the proper count is in place. No, again, going back to the agreements with the customer. I hope I answered that question.
Very well, Sir Gilbert. Thank you very much. We value the time of our panelists and, of course, all the potential and existing trucking partners of MSL. We apologize because we are a little bit over time from our event agenda. So we'll try to accommodate one final question, and I'm sure that most of our trucking partners and owners of their respective companies would like to get to know the answer to this very specific question. And the question can be answered by Ms. Celeste, Sir Alan, or Sir Gilbert. So the first question is, what type of trucks are needed by Magsaysay Shipping? And do you have any, how will the potential vendors and trucking partners get to know your specific requirements?
Okay, I guess I'll answer first for Lorenzo Shipping. Well, for Lorenzo Shipping, since we mostly do, we really do containerized cargo. So trucks that we need are for 20-foot single containers and also for 40-foot straight or 2x20 tandem containers.
For Icebox Logistics, I mentioned we do similar to what Lorenzo is doing, 20-footer and 40-footer container vans. These are all owned by Icebox Logistics, no. And then on occasion, we will have requirements for generator sets, underslung generator sets, which means we will have to inspect your chassis that you will be deploying to us so that we can make sure that the clip-on or the underslung gen sets can be accommodated by your chassis. I think that one consideration here is yung mga chassis natin with the rail guards on the side, that proves to be a problem on our side. Kung may rail guards na, I know the Nestle's will require the rail guards, but if we put a gen set, underslung gen set, nahirapan tayo. There are some truckers who have a removable rail guard, so that would be helpful. Again, I think during the accreditation process, we will have these questions in place para we can make sure that we won't have any problems if we will require, if our customers will require a gen set placed underneath. No. On another note also, we do have on occasion requirements for smaller reefer trucks. So those truckers who have reefer trucks, on occasion we do have movements and we do bundle these services to our customers, lalo na in the Vismin area. Please do contact us through our proper channels, no, and I would think it would be through DNB and our SPU. So that they can filter that out and accredit you, and then once you get through that, then we'll talk to you.
For Onestop Logistics Solutions Inc. naman, we need multiple sizes of trucks from 4-wheelers to a 20-footer or a 40-footer tractor heads, no, to serve our customers. Also, we have a lot of projects in the pipeline that might need some specialized units like trucks with tail lifts. These are the ones being used to serve like yung mga garments na mga RTWs. No? These are mga high-end garments that we need to provide our customers. Plus, some special equipments like kailangan din namin like yung mga units for mga special cargo movements. So in case meron kayong available na may sa ganyan, please, get in touch with us. I think our contact number is included in this presentation. So please reach out to us anytime, and then we'll try to see if there's something we can work out together.
Right. Thank you very much, Sir Alan. At this point, again, we apologize for going over time in our webinar. But for any of our panelists, if you would like to say a couple of words, perhaps like any additional insights that you would like to share, we're gonna give you this opportunity. Let's try to keep it very, very brief and impactful. Of course, let's start with Sir RJ. Any additional insight or keynotes that you would like to share?
Well, first of all, thank you for attending this. Apart from what Celeste mentioned for liner shipping or for Lorenzo shipping, we also have a regular need for hustling trucks, or what we call as yard goats or capacity tractors, because we do a lot of hustling, especially between our off-dock container yard in Virata, Nabotas, and Pier 16. And apart from that, also, the chassis types that we need are 40-footers, 20-footer single, 20 and 40-footer that could be tandem for 220s. So those are the types of a chassis that we would need from all of you. And most of our truckers naman, almost all of them are able to provide. And I would like to thank you for that, for your patience. And despite the challenges that I mentioned, especially at this time, special time during COVID, you never ceased to serve us. And there were even times during last year, during the height of the pandemic or the lockdown, wherein sometimes the collections from our customers were very slow. So thus, it also trickled down to you, to our providers. But nevertheless, I can assure you, as the head of the company, that we're doing our very best. We've been very, very strict also with our customers, so that we will be able to collect on time from them, so that in turn we will be able to pay our valued service providers, such as you, our dear truckers, on time as well. As much as possible, we would like to do that, and I can give you that assurance that we are trying to discipline our customers as well, so that we will be able to pay you in turn. Because I believe this is one of the more pressing issues amongst our truckers. And again, I would like to wish all of you to keep safe and keep strong. And I assure you that we will never stop at expanding our business together with the rest of our MSL business units, Icebox and Onestop Logistics, so that in the future we will see expanded business and more business opportunities for both of us as partners. Again, thank you, and I hope that you are able to vaccinate most or all of your drivers and helpers and employees, because I'm also quite concerned because we also treat you as an extension of our family. So we're not just partners, but you're already a part of our MSL family. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sir RJ. Miss Caroline, would you like to say a couple of words?
Yes. For your insurance requirements, please don't forget to contact us. We do have a lot of insurance products that will help you, and it's very affordable and competitive. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Caroline. Sir Alan, I'm sure that you have a couple of insights to share.
No, actually, that's it. No, that's it for us. We definitely would need the support of all the truckers who attended today, because I assure you that we have a lot of very exciting projects this year, and hopefully by next year. We have a lot in the pipeline. So we'll be expecting a call from each and every one of you. Thank you for joining this event.
Sir Donovan, any additional insights or words that you would like to share with our participants?
Sorry, but thank you for reminding me that, Arden. No, we're just very happy to be part of the MSL family because it's an innovative company. It's moving forward. They have a lot of things in the pipeline, and we're excited to be providing the technology part to make sure that as their business grows, the truckers as well and the other stakeholders also benefit from it. It's not easy to be individually using technology because of the economies of scale, but through MSL, obviously this becomes affordable. And of course, we have the scale as well to develop all these applications for them. So again, thank you for MSL and thank you for everyone that attended today's forum.
And of course, we will be sharing the contact information of all of our panelists for this event. And Sir Jonathan Kasupang will also be giving us his closing remarks. Sir Jonathan, please stand by. Are there any additional information that our panelists would like to share before we move on to the closing remarks of Sir Jonathan? Of Sir John Kasupang, sorry. Okay, for our panelists, I encourage you, please key in your contact information in our chat box. Of course, the information will be shared as well with our registrants together with your approved presentation. If can be distributed throughout the attendees, and that will be helpful for them, I'm sure. And to close this event, we would like to call on our digital stage, Sir John Christian B. Kasupang, the Chief Operating Officer of MSL. Sir John has over 30 years of relevant experience in operations, commercial, and supply chain. He is also currently the representative of Metro Pacific as a member, board of directors, also within the Lina Group of Companies. Ladies and gentlemen, Sir John Kasupang. John, thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Good afternoon, everybody. More than the overview and the introduction of MSL and Magsaysay as a group and as a logistics company, we would like to get this opportunity to thank everyone, every trucker that we have, every service provider and partner that we have, and of course to reiterate that we are here to support not just the big service providers, but of course the smaller ones. The reason we share the services of our other service providers and partners is to show you that even the small players, small truckers, even the new entrepreneurs, you have us here to support you in terms of business opportunities. The business is still not that strong economically in the Philippines and even globally, but one thing is sure, MSL is a very strong group, not only on the shipping side, but also on the logistics side. And the opportunities here to partner with the group is really immense. And we hope that you and your friends and other suppliers that you know would support us and join the group and the family, as RJ mentioned. And we are here to grow with you and grow and support the partners that we have right now. And again, more than the overview, we want to thank everybody in both supporting us and helping us all through these years and through this tough pandemic times. And we assure you that we are going to grow with you in terms of business and profitability. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Sir John. And I'm sure you're very interested to understand and to see, together with all of our panelists, it's time naman for us to ask the questions sa ating mga attendees, all 150 here. We're flashing a poll question in your screen. If you would like to accelerate your business transaction and business relationship with MSL, their affiliates, their subsidiaries, and their partners, please key in and answer yes. I would like to set up a meeting with MSL. If you would like to defer the meeting or the business relationship at a later date, you can answer with option B. Bakit po natin ito hinihingi at bakit natin ito kailangan? Of course, the procurement team and all of the COOs, CEOs, and the general managers of MSL affiliates, subsidiaries, and partners are here. And we want to be able to speed up and accelerate yung partnership ninyo with the companies of our panelists. The poll question is being flashed on your screen. We have about a minute to answer it. Once you answer it, the information, of course, will be provided sa ating mga panelists at sa kanilang respective teams. And while you're answering it, thank you again, Sir John Kasupang, for the lovely closing remark. Again, this has been CRIF, Dun & Bradstreet Philippines, and MSL Trucking Partnership Forum, together with all the affiliate subsidiaries and partners of MSL. In behalf of our panelists, we would like to thank you for your attendance, and your active participation in our event. We will be closing this event, but we are not going to stop the webinar. You can network with all the other truckers that are here. If you want to send a private message to our panelists, I'm sure that they are more than willing to stay over for a couple more minutes to answer your questions directly. But if not, you can also send them a message or reach out to them. The information is now being flashed on your screen. For Magsaysay, of course, you can reach out to Mr. Erwin G. Nocon, the strategic partner. His professional information is listed below. If you would like to pre-qualify already to MSL through CRIF Dun & Bradstreet, Ms. Cynthia Galopez professional information is also flashed on your screen. If you would like to get to know the insurance benefits from Magsaysay Houlder Insurance Brokers, Ms. Carol Gapay's information is also flashed there. And of course, the technologies that are available for you through JourneyTech. Mr. Prince Arquiza, the Senior Sales Supervisor of JourneyTech's information is also flashed on your screen. Again, we thank you for your access to the MSL Trucking Partner Webinar Forum in partnership with CRIF Dun & Bradstreet Philippines. Again, my name is Arden Ross, Marketing Manager for CRIF DNB, and on behalf of all of our participants, the MSL affiliate partner subsidiaries, we thank you again for joining us this afternoon. Maraming salamat po. Keep safe and get yourself vaccinated.
Thank you.
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, MSL.